Hello, dear friends. Welcome to A Coastal Thrifter. This video brings us back to Gainesville, Florida. And of course, when in Gainesville, I have to stop by the older Goodwill and the new Goodwill. This one has got to be one of my favorite Goodwills of all times. This is the older Goodwill, and I just always find stuff here when I come. And I usually find something good. So we'll see what I can find today. They have a lot of these bins up in the front of the store, and this one was a little bit on the empty side. There was this cute little salt and pepper shaker combo thing here. I think I ended up leaving that, though. And an anodized spoon rest there, as you can see. But I did end up finding something, I think, out of this bin here. There were some vintage games in these bins, and this girl literally just crossed in front of me to get to this one vintage game. Here is a complete set of vintage in the box, Old Spice, or old English leather or something. And completely vintage on that. So I had to put that in the cart, of course. No, I just couldn't believe that girl crossed right in front of me, and I would have totally handed it to her if she just would have said, "Hey, can you hand me that?" But as it turns out, it was still sitting up at the checkout when we left. So she decided not to take it anyways. Vintage games are big right now. I know a lot of people are buying them. There was this cute little animated Christmas sculpture thing here, and I decided to pop him in the cart. I've still got to put batteries in him to see. Yeah, see, there it is. I was talking to her. And I found, look, a Cuisinart, and that has been on my list of things that I want for my house. A brand new Cuisinart also, as it turns out. It's a vintage one, but it was brand new. The parts inside of it were still in the original plastic that it was shipped in, and I was just blown away. I have the Cuisinart of my dreams now for $10. I always like how they set up the end caps. They're very pretty. Different color things that they put in there. They have a lot of mugs and things on the shelves here. The prices, I think, at this Goodwill are pretty reasonable compared to some of the other Goodwills. Look at this cute little vintage tin that I found. And when I pop it open, oh my gosh, there are vintage sewing supplies inside the tin. I do end up separating them out of that tin because I found a vintage sewing basket while I was there too. So I'm going to lot that stuff up together for sure. And then there were these really cool looking Celtic mugs. One has a big chip in it, but they're actually from Ireland. So I bought both of those. And this was just hilarious. And there are actually little turds inside of there, like ceramic turds. And I did put that in the cart because it was just weird and funny enough. But they have so many mugs here. I'm never disappointed with the selection. I always find something to add to the collection. Like this. Here's a Pier 1 mug. It's just a random single mug, but people be looking to complete their sets. Sometimes I'll break a mug and they want another one to replace it. So that's why I buy stuff like that. Especially if I know that it's from a good brand like Pier 1. That's in demand. Oh, how cute. It is a Natural Life mug. It's a little owl. You know, I love the Natural Life. I think I always find the Natural Life when I come to Gainesville. And I believe that's because they're more of a Central Florida-based brand. They're from, I think, the Tampa area. So I think you see more of their stuff down in the Gainesville area than I find up here in the Panhandle. Pretty little old piece of depression glass here, but unfortunately it is badly chipped. So not for resale. Not if I can help it anyways. Always checking the brands on everything. This was a Pottery Barn plate. I probably should have picked it up, but I decided to leave it. And coming up next, we have these beautiful Talavera house numbers, but, they're so specific, I decided not to pick them up. But I did find a set of these plates that I have in my very own kitchen. So I was glad to add to my collection for my pattern. Then I come back and check out the linens a little bit. I don't think I find anything here particularly, but it's always worth a look. I have found things here before, and they really do have quite an extensive linen section. There were a lot of people here on this particular day. The parking can be very tricky at this location. Found this cute little seahorse. It was only $2, so I popped him in the cart. And here it is. Here's the vintage sewing basket that I found. This one is missing its toggle, but I didn't think that was necessarily a problem because it's so old. Then I found this little sailboat, but I failed to notice that it was missing a piece of glass on the bottom. I guess my eye was just fooling me. I thought it was meant to sit flat. And no, it was missing a bottom piece of glass. So that was a miss for me. But I was so excited to turn the corner and then find 2 sets of cork-backed placemats. They're complete. There are 4 in each set. And that was a great buy. Pop those in the cart. You can see how fast this cart is filling up here. This is why I love this location. But yes, you do have to watch it coming in and leaving the parking lot. The spots are very narrow and they're often all taken up. You may have to find yourself backing out of the parking lot. So just be aware of that before you come. Maybe take the smaller car and not your giant truck. There is parking out back, but you'll have to walk a little ways. Here was a magic bullet. This is a pretty etched vase. Then I found this. This is Bath and Body Works. It is a fall 3-inch candle holder for their 3-inch candles. That was a great buy. Those can go for over $20 when they're in season. Then there was a little baggie with the Disney characters in it. So I bought that, and as well as some wooden napkin rings. So now we are headed back towards the hotel. This is just a little bit of footage riding through Gainesville past the university. We always like taking this ride. It's always fun to see the students on the side of the road and, their scooters and everything. And it just, takes you back to remember what it was like to be a young person in this world so full of promise and the opportunity of a whole lifetime laying out before you. Now, the students here at University of Florida have to be very smart to get into this school. You have to have over a 4.0 grade point average last time I checked to get accepted to the University of Florida. So these are the cream of the crop, these kids. And the next morning, Dave had his appointment at Norm Fixel's. They did some occupational therapy. This was one of the tests they were testing him on, his dexterity. But then afterwards, we popped by the big Goodwill, which is another must-see for us. This one is on 34th. Lots of carts, very large, well-stocked store. And I always find something here as well. There's lots of clothing here, lots of decor, lots of pillows, and lots of hard goods. There are things over the clothing racks to look at, so you really kind of have to go through the whole store to see all of it. And then there's a section in back with hard goods. This was a pretty little fused piece, but it was flash painted, I think. So fused molded glass and then flash painted Christmas piece. Cute little nautical looking pillow. Family. Looks handmade, but I don't think it is. Just a decor piece. Cute little tin box. Checking out this little dolphin clock for a minute. Deciding if I wanted it and whether it had any damage or not. It was missing the battery cover, so I passed on it. I know that's a small thing, but when you're reselling, little details do matter. And I'm not so sure that dolphin items are super popular right now. A cute little stationery set. Yeah, that's what that was. It has all of its stuff with it. But I'm being judicious. I am only picking up things that I know I can sell on this trip because I really do have a huge pile of things waiting to be listed, and I do work at it pretty steadily, but it seems that I always thrift more than I can list on time, so it is my own personal statistic that I have to improve. Look at this. Oh my gosh, this was hand painted, has the little flower of life pattern on it. Then I found this. This was the Canticle of the Creatures, St. Francis of Assisi, and it was a lovely piece of calligraphy, so I put that in the cart. I'm not sure if it was hand-done calligraphy or just a high-quality print. And here's a Starbucks logo mug. It was only $1.99, so that was a pick-it-up price. They don't sell for all that much, but they do eventually sell. Cute little snowman mug. So really, this is the mecca of mugs. There are so many mugs here. Mugs here and mugs at the other one. Much more than I ever see at my local thrift stores or up in the Panhandle. I could really just probably spend a half hour going through mugs alone here. So I'm trying to just be quick about it and make a few decisions and not take up too much time. There were other people waiting to get into the aisle. And I did make several passes of this aisle. Then I found this cute little nautical inspired sheet. I did find this at the linen section. And a very cute fall inspired apron. Lovely material, great condition, wonderful crisp bright print. So that will be listed later on, probably this summer as we get in closer to fall. Look at those cute little tomato napkins or hand towels, I think they were. So I am kind of meticulously going through every last piece of linen here because I have found nice linen pieces here before. Those I'm looking closely at, these little boho inspired napkins to see if there was a tag or anything on them. I found Crosskill. Look at that. Brand new. It is, I think it's a curtain panel. Oh no, those were a towel set. Yep. A set of Crosskill towels never used. New with tag. What an awesome set that was to find. I hardly ever find Crosskill that's brand new. And it's a high-end brand. It sells pretty well for me. I always can make a few bucks on some Crosskill pillows or pillow shams or hand towels, curtains, whatever I can find with that brand name. There are other ones that I look for. I look for Company Store. I look for Pottery Barn. Pottery Barn Kids like this little crib blanket here. So I popped that in the cart, no brainer. Company Store, Pottery Barn Kids. I look for Waverly is a good brand to pick up. I kind of tend to leave the Target, the Better Homes and Gardens, Walmart, the lower end brands behind, even if they're in nice condition. For reselling linens, I really only focus on the higher end brands. And I found a piece of Royal Dalton here. This is from their Pacific collection. And oh my gosh, this gorgeous, gorgeous piece of glass. This is hand-blown glass by Costa Boda. What a find. That is a hand-blown candle holder. I was so excited to find that for under $4. What an amazing bargain. And here I'm scanning kind of their junk shelf. I think this is the shelf where they put things where they just don't know where else to put it. And here I find a couple of Dansk fruit bowls. Wow. Wonderful to find Dansk just sitting there on the junk shelf. I looked at this little thing for a minute. I'm like, what even are you? It's like a little purse. I tried Google searching it and I didn't come up with much. Then I found this fabulous fiber optic cat sculpture thing. It has little fiber optic coming out of the tulip. It did have some damage on it. The butterfly that the cat is reaching for had lost the wing. I was like, I don't care. I'm getting it anyways. I don't care. It's too fabulous. It's sparkly. It's just fun. I figured somebody would buy it just because it's a fiber optic piece. But I went back later and I did decide to put it back. I thought, you know what? It's a risk. It's iffy. That was a set of stationery or an old calendar with lots of pretty pictures. So I picked that up for upcycling. Then I found a whole bag of Cuisinart knives, like a whole bag for $2.99. And turned the corner and oh my God, look at this fabulous Halloween vest. This, I die. I just die. That was amazing. Into the cart for sure. And then a beautiful tapestry pillow with seashells on it. Definitely grabbing that. That could sell locally for me on Marketplace or probably easily online. Then I found this beautiful depression glass divided dish. Unfortunately, when I got home and went to list it, I noticed there was a chip on it, and I'm not sure if that was one that was there when I bought it or if that happened on the way home at some point. I also got this little Greek plate, and look, I found Stitch. It's a little outdoor flag, perfect for my front yard. I love Stitch. Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorites, and it has a nice flag on it, patriotic, really fun. Today's episode of A Coastal Thrifter has been brought to you by the letter D. I hope you guys enjoyed Thrifting Gainesville with us. Thanks so much. Please give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.